Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome. That's it. Oh, I'm back. Okay. Welcome to the Womentum 2020 Demo Day. We are so excited to present these startups for you. Thank you, everybody who's joining right now and who's taking part in this very appropriate year 2020 New Age Startup Accelerator Demo Day Showcase. I wanted to take a minute to just explain to you how wild of a year this has been. I don't need to talk about the overall insanity that's happened, but mostly I wanted to talk about how the accelerator adapted in this year and what the startups in this cohort are going to be presenting to you. As we had to reimagine Womentum, which involved very important in-person components, we wanted to see if it was going to be possible to recreate this accelerator completely virtually and digitally. Part of that evolution meant that we took in a smaller cohort of startups this year so that we could actually offer them more one-on-one coaching and more one-on-one time to give them the focus and the energy and the attention that they need to make it through this year, but more years that might be like this in the future. So the program started on September 1st and was completely virtual from the start. The startups had an extensive schedule ahead of them, and Wamina's EQ sessions, which are our emotional intelligence sessions, were still part of the program. So we did not only focus on growing their businesses, but actually growing themselves and evolving themselves as founders. And we're so proud of how far these companies have come. This cohort is very special and unique because not only have they survived a year like 2020, but they've been able to thrive in a year like 2020. And that's mostly because all of the companies that we're about to present to you right now have amazing communities that they've built that are backing their startups, that are sharing a value system, and that really want the startup to succeed. So they're not just doing it alone. Some of these founders might be solo founders, but they have an amazing community of people that have bought in to their mission. And so we are very proud of how far our startups have come. And we're very excited for the future of these startups ahead of them once the program ends. I do want to take a minute to talk about our partners in the show. In this program, we have and are very lucky to have an amazing support system ourselves and community ourselves of partners. First and foremost of Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered Bank has come in and supported Womena and the Womentum program since last year. And this wild year of 2020 did not deter them from their support of this program. And to that, we are so incredibly thankful. We were able to move forward with this program in spite of the issues that may have arisen. And that is because we had incredibly understanding and determined partners like Standard Chartered, like Google, like Latham & Watkins, and like BCG, who were in it for the mission, for the impact of this program, regardless of the structure. So first and foremost, thank you so much to Standard Chartered Bank and to the entire team for mentoring and assisting these startups in their journey, but for also believing in Womena and in the Womena team to carry this vision forward. I also want to thank Latham & Watkins, our law firm, for 3 years in a row that has been providing free legal support to the startups throughout their journey. Legal in general is not a startup's favorite part of the business process, but the Latham & Watkins team are so unique and so open about how the startups can really do the best job that they possibly can, and they're just there to help. So these sessions ended up being some of the sessions that we all enjoyed the most. I also want to thank BCG again for another year of support. BCG offered entire consulting teams to the startups throughout this entire process. That was an invaluable asset to them, and without the help of Boston Consulting Group, we could not be here today. So thank you, Boston Consulting Group. And last but not least, Google for Startups, who are our Demo Day sponsor. This event, this virtual experience is happening because of Google and Google's support. And you are now watching this on YouTube, so beautifully put together thanks to the YouTube and the Google team. So thank you to everybody at Google for that. This is an exciting demo day also because, as I said, our partners are so committed to helping startups as best they can that this is not just a showcase and a demo day, but we're actually going to be awarding equity-free prize money donated by Standard Chartered at the end of the demo day. So please make sure to stick around to the end of the demo day to see which startups won the Standard Chartered prizes, and make sure to look at your comment section, which could be right here or right here, depending on what medium you're watching this demo day on. But let us know in the comment sections if you have any questions for these startups. We're going to be taking questions live, so those will come straight to me. And of course, if you want to make a comment and a quick little shout out as to which startup you think should win the prize money at the end of this demo day, please let us know who your favorite startups are in the comment section. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Rola Aboumaneh, who is the boss lady and CEO of Standard Chartered Bank UAE. And if it wasn't for Rola and for her belief and her support, Womena would not be here right now, Womentum would not be here right now, and you would not be seeing these incredible startups in front of you. So I'd like to just give a quick round of applause to Rola.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Elisa, for such an apt opening and warm introduction. We're really delighted to partner for the second consecutive year to support women entrepreneurs as part of our Future Makers initiative. And for those of you who do not know, Future Makers is Standard Chartered's global initiative to tackle inequality by promoting greater economic inclusion. And our Women in Tech program is a great case in point. So we are live in 8 markets globally, and of this, 7 are in our region, in the Africa and Middle East region. And our alumni continues to grow beyond completion of our acceleration program. And our startups continue raising funds from forming partnerships and expanding geographies. So first of all, it is really great that most of you are planning to expand and grow your business in the UAE. And this is because the UAE's government has been the biggest pioneer of equality, not just in theory, but also in action. The UAE's private sector equal pay legislation has been passed very recently, and it has been a truly historic moment for our country. So it's great to know that you're building your future in this country that truly creates equal opportunities for women and men. Secondly, Standard Chartered welcomes diversity of thought and innovation, and I'm really impressed to see how your businesses are offering to solve for the client and community needs. I do look forward to your pitches and can't wait to see the hard work that went into refining your business plans over the past 4 months, especially when we had to adapt our program to deliver it fully virtually this year. Finally, irrespective of who's gonna take the first prize, you are all great role models for the next generation of women leaders, and you should all be proud of yourselves. To me, you are definitely all winners. So please continue breaking the boundaries and setting great examples, because you are shaping the future of entrepreneurship. All the best with your presentation pitches, and thank you. Over to you, Alisa.
Thank you so much, Rula. We really appreciate that. Thank you for those beautiful words and for the support that Standard Chartered has shown the startups this year. Standard Chartered not only mentored the startups, but also provided Womentum the opportunity to consistently grow. And as Rula said, we are part of the Women in Tech Network at Standard Chartered, which is a big collaboration of 8 different programs in 8 different markets. And we're happy to continue to grow that impact with them and to be a part of that story. Next, I wanted to bring on our champion at Google, Miss Mariama. Google, again, is our Demo Day sponsor this year and has contributed deeply into the success of the startups, including providing mentors to our amazing boss ladies, and we're happy to have her here and have her share a few words. Also, I can see all your comments, by the way. So if you guys are talking to me, I really appreciate that. I'm seeing everything that everyone is writing. I appreciate that so much. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just got notification that unfortunately Mariama is not online, but she will be back later. So that explains why there was a little bit of a lag in the transitions. So I'm going to just pretend like Google just gave us a raving review of being an amazing partner and that they're totally obsessed with all the startups, as I'm sure you're all allowed to be. So you will all be huge fans of these startups. And this just means that we get to move one step closer to introducing you to them. So I want to introduce our 2020 cohort. Just a brief outline of the industries that they all stem from. We have a big focus on relevant industries that we've had to think about in this year specifically. So we did try to make the cohort selection for 2020 to be COVID relevant. And once again, this is why we found that some of the most exciting companies that were surviving this year were companies that had communities behind them. But those communities were backing lots of different styles of companies. We have companies in health and wellness, both on the experiential side and the content and media side, but also on the retail side. We have an amazing company that is advocating for natural hair and natural confidence. We have companies that deeply believe in working on yourself and finding happiness within yourself is also going to contribute to a much larger impact in the region. And so they're creating products or creating media around a deeper understanding of oneself and how we can make our region a little bit of a healthier and happier place. We have storytelling platforms that have completely built up audiences and communities to share more relevant stories from our generation in the Middle East. And then we obviously have an amazing edtech company that is looking at how can they inspire the next generation of Middle Eastern people, of Middle Eastern children who want to think differently, learn differently, create different solutions that our region so desperately needs. And they're providing that edtech solution to get our region to that next level. Everybody in our cohort is focused on impact, even though this is not an impact accelerator. This is an accelerator for good businesses. But what it shows you is that the natural evolution of entrepreneurship is entrepreneurship with a double and sometimes even a triple bottom line. So with all that, after 3 months of virtual learning and a very tailored acceleration process to them, I'm really happy to honor and introduce you to the graduates of the 2020 Womentum program. I will be here to moderate for all of the Q&A segments. So we will be showing you their short pitches, after which the startups will come on screen with me. And any of the questions that you ask in the comment section, and any investor questions that we have, will also be sent directly to me. As we do the Q&A, there is also the judging panel worth mentioning from Standard Chartered Bank. So in order to award these prizes, I see that some of you are asking what is the criteria for awarding the prizes. And I think the judges will talk more about that when you meet them after the pitches. But there is a secret committee, not so secret committee, of Standard Chartered advocates and mentors who are assessing all of these pitches live right now. And they will be choosing who gets the first, second, and third place prizes for our startups. I'm very happy to introduce to you these judges. I will do so after the pitches, so just make sure to stay tuned. And again, enjoy the pitches, enjoy the startups, and please do not be don't hold back from asking any of the important questions that may come up in the comment section here or here. So first up, we have a health and wellness focused startup looking to create space and peace in a very volatile region. And I'm very excited to introduce you all to this next entrepreneur. She captivated our hearts from the moment that we met her, and if anything, was maybe one of the earliest companies to have started in our program, but she by far was not as far back as we thought, because she has single-handedly built a massive community online that supports her business, and that proves that the work that she does has a massive impact. So without interrupting, I actually just got word, I'm so sorry, I just got word that Mariana is back, and I think we will need to we'll be able to actually have Mariama from Google speak a little bit before we jump right into our first startup pitch. So if Andy can confirm that to me, that would be great. As we wait just for this technicality to be confirmed, I'm just waiting for this to clear up. I'm so sorry. But I'm very excited for you all to get to know the startups as you see them. Wamina's been able to create pre-recorded versions of these pitches so that you will all be hopefully fully captivated by their presentations. And hopefully you all end up following everybody on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube after this presentation and buy into the products that they have to say. Okay. As we continue, I'm so sorry. There seems to be some internet hiccups in the UK, which is where this live stream is coming from. But what that tells me right now, which I think would be comforting to all of you watching this in the Middle East, is that we're not the only ones with internet issues. That's quite comforting, because if in England and in London they have some internet connectivity issues, then it means that we have a better chance of catching up and even beating the Europeans in our tech plays and our growth. One exciting thing I wanted to bring up was the importance of storytelling in the Womentum Accelerator. As you know, this is not only the third season of the program, Womentum, of the acceleration program, but this is also going to be the third season of the series of Womentum that we've been able to film. And we're really excited about that because every year we figure out that not only is there an impact to this program directly with working with the founders and the cohorts, but there's actually an even deeper impact that is made from telling their stories, their transparency in this entire process, and being able to open up their lives and share their lives with us is something that we really appreciate, but I think it was so lacking in the media space. So young entrepreneurs, young founders, or people that want to be entrepreneurs and are a bit too scared to make the leap, those are the people that are affected most by these stories, that are suddenly told, oh, I can do it, and I can build the dream that I want to build and the story that I want to build. And if you haven't yet, I urge you all to stay on YouTube. And after this demo day, go to the Womena page, give us a like, follow, and a subscribe, and watch season 1 and season 2 of Womentum, because they're pretty amazing. And I do see in the comment section that some of the founders from the last 2 graduating cohorts are actually in supporting the new cohort, which makes me very happy. So I just wanted to put that out there, and I wanted to just make sure we are introducing Mariama from Google for Startups. Thank you so much for joining us, Mariana, and the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariama Boumanjal and I am the Startup Partner Manager at Google for Startups based in the UK. Google for Startups is on a mission to level the playing field by providing women founders with equal access to resources, network and funding. Hence, I'm proud and excited to once again partner with the amazing Women team on the Womentum Accelerator program, supporting 5 brilliant women-led businesses and the incredible women tech entrepreneurs in the MENA region. By focusing on mentorship, leadership, connections, and growth, this program supports a powerful community, breaking down barriers as they grow. Progress on gender has stagnated. Only 2-3% of VC funding go to women-only led businesses. And not because women are not capable of running businesses successfully, quite the opposite. We believe that gender diverse businesses are ultimately more successful. And this is why we're so proud to support once again the Womentum Accelerator, providing 5 incredible women tech entrepreneurs in the Middle East with access to resources, networks, VCs. As Google, we are excited that we got to support these founders on their journey with Google mentors and Google workshops. Today, it's all about this incredible 5 women tech entrepreneurs in the MENA region. So let's hear directly from them. Thank you for having me today, and I'm looking forward to the pitches. Thank you, Elisa. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mariana. We're so happy you were able to join us finally. And the startups and the audience got to meet you and to see you in person. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much to Google for the support. And now, without further ado, let's get straight to the startup pitches. First up, as I said, a health and wellness startup that's focused on bringing peace to the Middle East, if not just inner peace first, and the outer peace will fall into place. So let's give our own little round of applause at home to Miss Shadana Nasir from Shadana Yoga.
Hi everyone, I'm Shadana, and today I'll be taking you through the Shadana Yoga pitch. But before we do that, I want you to take a moment and notice your posture. I bet you're slouching right now. And that's totally normal. You're not alone. Most of our days are spent on laptops, on phones, watching TV, driving, and all of these things require slouching. So it's really, really okay. But let's go ahead and take a moment and straighten up our postures. With the inhale, bring both of your shoulders all the way up to your ears. And with the exhale, bring your shoulders a little bit back, as if your hands will also come back a little bit. And relax the shoulders if you're feeling like you're tensing them a bit. Nice. Do you feel that space in your chest? That inner space you're creating? And release. Nice. You can take a little smile as well if you like. Never hurts. So, how many of you are feeling stressed right now? And who of you are having physical pain right now, whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, whatever it is? And how many of you are having tools to dealing with these things right now? A few years ago, I decided to move back to Palestine and start teaching at refugee camps. And the reason for all of that was to be able to share tools of creating inner space where outer space is limited. And I think that's something that all of us can relate to after these lockdowns have been happening for the last while. On the third session I had with these women, we were all sitting together and they were discussing how they wanted to practice at home, but they couldn't find the material online in Arabic. And that was the biggest spark. Why isn't this available in Arabic online? And this is how Shadana Yoga was born, the first and largest Arabic platform for holistic well-being. What does that mean? We offer in-depth, specific, tailored programs that are focused on these topics. For example, back pain, neck pain, stress relief, or connecting to oneself. They are available to anyone, anywhere via laptop, mobile, or tablet. And the aim is to improve mental and physical well-being through methods of yoga, breathing, meditation, and holistic well-being. This is what the platform looks like. It's an extremely user-friendly platform that gives you this feeling of inner space. It's supposed to feel as if you log into your inner space as soon as you're logging into Shadana Yoga. And a lot of people have reported feeling exactly this. How does it work from business perspective? We have two main revenue streams. Number one is the freemium, which is $10 per month for subscription-based videos on demand. At the moment, it's $10 per month. And then we have another revenue stream, which is the academy, where you have online courses with a certificate at the end that are one-time payments. We are targeting women who are Arabic speaking in the GCC between the ages of 18 and 45. We have 423 million people in the Arab world at the moment, out of which 135 million are set to be our target audience, out of which we estimate to have 20 million people who are our addressable market that are interested in well-being. How does that translate it into dollar value? We have $18 billion spent on wellness economy in the GCC alone, out of which $3.6 billion are estimated to be on well-being. These are $3.6 billion waiting to be spent on platforms like Shadana Yoga. This is what we look like in the market. At the moment, we are offering quite a few things that are not existing in the market, and we have a holistic well-being looking at the whole thing. We identified three main things that we have as our competitive advantage. Number one is Arabic. And we don't just talk about linguistically Arabic. We talk about making it culturally accessible and religiously appropriate. The number two thing is guided content. We provide tailored, focused programs that take people step by step when they often feel overwhelmed with getting into online platforms such as this. Number three is our holistic approach. This is one of our main things because we don't just do it on the mat. We take you off the mat and into your life, including food, natural remedies, all based on the science of Ayurveda. All of this happened because 3 years ago, I wanted to share videos in Arabic with the world. And now it's backed with an incredible team with people who are ex-operations managers at Careem, or analytics queen who can get you whatever business intelligence numbers you want, or person who's absolute genius in technical, and the person who made the #1 website on Google, #1, who's our marketing lead at the moment. So far, we have 400,000 followers across our social media platforms, all organically. 10 million views. This means 10 million well-being classes have been taken in the last 3 years alone. That translates to 50 million minutes of watch. Who are these people? We have 50% of these people from the #1 country in the world that consumes online content, followed by the #1 country that is doing online purchases, followed by Europe and other GCC countries. They have given us 35% month-on-month growth on average for the last while we have been operating. And we have been featured on so many different media outlets, including BBC, Al Jazeera, Al Arabiya, and many others, but this is just a snapshot of who we've been on. What's the opportunity for you in all of this? We are raising $250,000, and that is to increase growth, launch an app, and expand our content to many other teachers across the Middle East. This will translate into $300,000 in revenue and 2,000 plus active users. So if you want to be part of this with us, part of creating inner space for over 20 million people in the Arab world, then please come to us. We would love to work with you. Until then, stay safe, stay sane, and be happy. Talk to you later.
Yes. Hi, Shadan. Hi. I think you're still muted. If you can just make sure to unmute yourself.
Right.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I'm muted.
Fantastic pitch, Shadan. Yes, girl. 3 months. 3 months in. I'm so proud to see all of this incredible progress that you've made and where you've gotten to.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I have headphones on because there was an echo.
Okay, no problem. So we have a few questions that have been coming in. I'm going to jump straight into them. The first is our Standard Charter judges saying, you are very passionate about your business, and it's great to see you lead with such a strong sense of purpose. But how are you planning to leverage tech, maybe AI, and overall technology to embed more personalization into your platform? Healing is not a one-size-fits-all strategy. Neither is wellness, yoga, meditation, Ayurveda. So how are you going to leverage tech to make your platform more personal?
This is actually a wonderful question because we've been talking about this for the last while quite a bit. There are quite a few ways in which we can start taking this a lot more in a more techie way, or using the technology to be able to personalize this a lot more for people. So at the moment, we are working on creating longer quizzes where people are able to identify their body type, what they are at the moment, what they need at the moment. And according to that, we're able to start sending people more personalized programs that can work for them or give them advice on how they can move forward. And this is one aspect that is a little bit more simplified. In the future, and this is not something we have yet announced or talked about as it's still something internal we're looking into, but we're definitely looking at AI technologies where they are able to also look at your body through your camera and identify how your body can be let's say, adjusted in the best way as you are in a real yoga class, and say you can bring your legs a little bit more closer to each other, and so on. And these are some of the ways we're looking at the moment, in which in the future this can grow even more to be something using technology more and more personalized.
Amazing. That's going to be really interesting to see the evolution of. And it's a very natural question to now ask. When you first joined the program, why I say you were one of the earliest was not because of, the traction that you've built is actually on par with a lot of the startups in the cohort, but you essentially are considered a content creator first, and you've now had to transition into being a founder, a business-oriented technical founder. So explain what that process has been like for you, and how have you shifted your mindset?
Right. Wow. So actually, one of our biggest reasons to joining this accelerator was to be able to be more investor ready and to be able to look at everything as a whole. And I have to say, it has been a huge shift since the beginning. The team has become so much more solid in the sense of bringing in the right people on board who are able to support us in a much better way, meaning the operations manager, someone who's in charge of the finances and being able to create forecasts in a much more scientific way than I would as the CEO. Other people who are looking at the data, someone came in and now she's the business intelligence person who's able to give us all the dashboards that we need, gathering all the data that we need. So it's been a long journey that has had the biggest shift, and people who are close to the business know the huge shift that has happened in the last while that has taken the business to another level.
Amazing. So it's really, again, about continuing to grow that community, right? And knowing whose talent to pull in order to make this a real legitimate business now.
Absolutely.
A technical question that's come in from Tina, no pressure, from Christina Andreessen, who is now a founder herself, but also was one of the founders of the Womentum program. How does your view count translate to classes completed? What percentage of the views translates to a full class taken? How many?
Right. So that's slightly hard to be able to measure, as what we get in terms of data is we get the amount of views and we get the average view per minute. So let's say I have a class that is 10 minutes. We get an average view of 5 minutes. So you can easily say that it's easily calculated as half of those have completed the entire class. And we try to calculate it based on these numbers.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I can see that there are more questions in the comment section. Unfortunately, we're on time, so I want to thank you so much, Shadana, for answering those questions. And if anybody else wants to reach out to Shadana, Shadana Yoga is obviously available for you to follow, like, subscribe on or DM on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Or then again, message any of the Womentum team, and we're happy to put you in touch. Thank you so much, Shadana.
Wonderful. Thank you, Elisa.
Thanks. All right. So next up, as we move on from the incredible platform of Shadana Yoga, we're going to also look at a storytelling platform. And Shadana, this is something that came very naturally to you, but that was something that you didn't have to learn about storytelling because you had nailed the storytelling. You had to learn more of the business side of things. The next startup has also perfected storytelling, and hopefully you are all already fans of one of their wild hits in the podcasting space. So next up, I'd love to present Finyal Media. And Finyal Media is based out of UAE. So Shadana, quickly before you go, you are based where?
In Palestine.
In Palestine. Amazing. And who would have thought that this platform that would show the region how to find inner peace is based in one of the most tumultuous places in our region. I'm so proud of everything that you've done for your community there and what you continue to do for the entire community of the region outside of Palestine. So that's really good.
Thank you, Elisa.
Yeah. We are now very proud to say that our startups are stemming from around the Middle East and throughout the region. So as Shadana said, she's in Palestine. Our other startups are coming from the UAE, Egypt.
We are Finyal Media, and identity is important to us. I'm Majid. I'm half Emirati and half German. I'm an advisor to a minister, but I'm also a drummer in a rock band. This is my co-founder, Layla. She's half Palestinian, half British. And during the day, she used to be a management consultant, and at night, a theater nerd. This is my co-founder, Mashari. He's half Saudi and half Kuwaiti. He used to be the head of training for the Kuwait oil sector, but in this picture, he's also at the launch of his board game store. Now, these may seem like unusual stories, but we all have passions and stories that drive us. And it's undeniable that there is a cultural and generational gap between the young Arab identity and mainstream media. It's why young Arabs want to see more of their identity in their entertainment. And in a region of 300 million Arabs, we barely have 300 podcasts. And with our shared experience and our diverse stories, we've come together to solve this problem and create content that represents the young Arab identity.
As Finyal Media, we create immersive audio experiences for young Arab listeners. What that means is we create engaging, immersive stories that are available to our listeners anytime, anywhere, and they can be listened to today or 10 years from now and will still be relevant to them. Our podcasts cover many genres, but the red thread that really ties them together is that they have to resonate with the young Arab identity. Identity is something that's very important to me. It's the reason why I started Millennial Mirrors, our first podcast, because I could see young Arabs in my life struggling to find their identity in today's world. And it's also the reason why I started 1001 Nights, because I felt like Arabic fiction is such a part of our identity, it doesn't get explored in the medium of podcasting. And that didn't just resonate with me, but with so many other people, as you can see. And that's just a small sliver of the market potential.
What is...
We believe that We believe the potential for MENA podcasts is incredible. So by 2024, we're expecting to see almost 50 million monthly podcast listeners, and this will result in almost $500 million in annual market revenues. We've already started monetizing some of our listeners, and we have 2 distinct revenue streams already today. The first is advertising and sponsorship. Now, the value of advertising for us lies in the fact that our content is evergreen, which means that it can be sold and resold multiple times over to different advertisers. And a great example of this is 1001 Nights, which we produced initially last year and sold for a sponsorship value of $10,000. We then subsequently sold exactly the same piece of content for 10 times that value. Our second revenue stream is through branded shows, where we custom create podcast series on behalf of companies that want to own their own content. And that's not all. By next year, we'll be launching a subscription service where we carve out some of our premium content and put it behind a paywall. This will not only guarantee us monthly recurring revenues, but will also allow us to start engaging with our community of listeners and understand what content they really want to hear. And the best part is, every aspect of our business model is highly scalable. So from a production standpoint, we focus on format-based series that we can easily replicate season upon season. We layer on top of that content that we aggregate from independent creators through our talent hub, Vinyal Studios. We then distribute this content on third-party platforms who already have access to millions of monthly listeners. And then from a monetization standpoint, we're not only launching the subscription service, but the advertising business will also be scaled up exponentially as we introduce automated ad sales when we start selling programmatically. And we've already started this growth journey. When we think back to 2015, when Majid was just starting his rock band, a few podcast networks in the MENA region were just popping up. We launched just last year, and already we've surpassed the audience of nearly every other network in the region. To put this in numbers for you, we're talking about average monthly growth of 47% since we launched. And we've also established partnerships with some of the biggest brands in the UAE, Emirates NBD, Emirates Airline, Carrefour, and many others. All this with just a handful of people. It's a really small team, but we've come together through this shared purpose of creating audio narratives that we feel the Arab world deserves. And imagine what more we can do. By 2024, we expect 18 million monthly downloads, which will be $20 million in annual revenues. And to help us get there, we're currently raising our pre-Series A round of $2 million. So while you might not have started a rock band, and you might not see yourself exactly in our stories, if you feel like you don't see yourself represented in the mainstream media and you want to ensure that the next generation does, then join us on this adventure. We'd love to have you on board.
Amazing! Wonderful Vinyal Media Founder.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So, Matthew, Leila, and Mashar, how are you guys today?
Good. Yeah.
Very well, thank you.
Awesome. I don't know if you guys hear, but there's a bit of an echo, I think, on your side. If you maybe can mute one of the two.
Is that better?
Thank you. So I'd love, the first question coming in is asking you about what would you do with the money that you are raising? How are you looking to allocate that? And what are the milestones you're aiming to hit with that funding?
Yeah, good question. Thank you. Okay, so with the money that we're raising currently, we have 3 main areas of expenditure. The first is the most obvious, which is on content. So we've now got to a point in our portfolio where we know exactly what works. We have the recipe for the content that people want to listen to in the region, but we need to hire more producers so that we can start churning that content out much more consistently and regularly. So we need to invest in the content side of things. The second area for us is marketing. Now, this is really important because all the 4 million downloads that we've achieved so far has come completely organically. We've invested nothing in marketing so far, and we see a huge opportunity to start building up a community of listeners where we can kind of cross-promote our content between different people and start speaking to them directly and growing the community even more. Then the third and final area that's really important for us in the coming 12 months is to actually start developing our own platform so that we can engage directly with that community and that we can start having guaranteed sort of monthly recurring revenues through our subscription service.
Okay, awesome. But as you're growing that, I wonder how are you going to manage the commercial side of your business with the editorial integrity or the creativity side of your business?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we've been dealing with really since day one. I mean, the first question mark for us coming into this business was it's easy to create content. It's not so easy to monetize that content. And that's something that we've ensured that we address head on right since the beginning of this business. Nearly every show that we've produced, we've managed to effectively monetize. And so that is a challenge that we've kind of found pretty strong solutions for, and we'll continue to keep doing that.
Very good. I'm curious as to when we look at the timeline of the region and the region's immersion into the podcasting space, you're one of the youngest companies to enter this space, but you've achieved you've surpassed a lot of your competitors actually already in terms of your growth, your audience size, and the amount of content that you make. Why? What was the secret sauce? How did you guys do that?
I mean, I think there's a couple of things. I mean, there's some incredible podcasts out there in the Arab world, and I definitely think there's actually still room for a lot more competitors to come in. But I think one of the ways we really differentiate from other players in the market is that we have a big focus on sort of scripted fiction and these kind of big hit entertainment formats that we know works really well on other platforms like TV, like YouTube, and works really well in video, but no one's actually tackled that in the audio space. And we've seen it a really a growing genre in the US and other markets. And given how much we know of the need for sort of entertainment and escapism in this part of the world, we figured, that's a great genre to focus on. And we found that, the audience sizes for these big hit kind of entertainment formats is actually much stronger than it is for the sort of non-scripted, traditional kind of talk show formats, which most podcasters are focusing on.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, so it's really the secret sauce is in the type of content that you create, the way that you're telling those stories. Last question, very technical, but what is the monthly recurring revenue you're aiming to get with that $2 million investment? And when do you plan to get there?
So I mean, we're not launching the subscription service until Q4 2024, and by that point, Q4 2021, and our goal is to reach a point where, I know, it's a long way off. And our goal by that point will be to reach a point where we have $20 million in annual revenues, and roughly 60% of that will be coming from the subscription service at that point. So it's going to become an increasingly important part of our business model as we move forward.
Mm-hmm. So exactly. So this is really to solidify yourselves as a platform, not just a content creator, but a full-on platform by the end of.
Absolutely.
Very exciting to have you guys. Thank you so much for the candor and the amazing pitch. It's awesome to see all three of you on the same screen after 3 months of multiple Zoom sessions. I can't wait to see you in Dubai very, very soon. But thank you so much, Finial Media.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right. So next up, we have an amazing business. I'm going to say they're all amazing because I love all of them. So you're going to hear me say this a lot. But trust me, this one is really also amazing. An amazing company. And the amazingness of this business is not just in the business model, in the products behind the business, or in the team. Although all of those things are phenomenal, what's really amazing is the story behind this business. Similar to Shadana, Mid-Basel Market was able to not just survive, but actually thrive in one of the most difficult years known to man, in one of the most difficult places known to man in this last year, which was Beirut, Lebanon. And so as you listen to Mint Basil Market, and as you will be wowed by their progress and by their current status, and their current state of affairs, and how they're going to grow exponentially very soon, you take into account how amazing this growth has been, given a very tumultuous year for Lebanese founders, Lebanese people, and the world at large. So without further ado, Mint Basil Market.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Mint Basil Market. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with a chronic health condition that forced me to completely change my diet and lifestyle. Healthy living became my way of life, and I spent years learning how to regain my health. And I'm not alone. Across the Middle East and North Africa, more than 60% of all health conditions are chronic, meaning they can be significantly alleviated or completely prevented by adapting a healthy diet and lifestyle. With the rise of conditions like cancer, obesity, diabetes, more and more people are making the shift to a healthier way of life. But as most of you know from your own personal experience, finding all these healthy natural products isn't easy or accessible. There's a lack of curation and segmentation. How are you supposed to know what's dairy-free and gluten-free? There's a lack of accessibility, and most importantly, there's a lack of local content around these products to help you make more informed purchasing decisions. Welcome to Mint Basil Market. We're a content and commerce platform hosting a wide range of healthy natural products, everything from food, natural beauty and cosmetics to eco-household essentials delivered to your door. And we work with a community of health experts to vet every single product on our platform and create unique content around our products so that you can make more informed purchasing decisions. And launching at the end of the year, with a new mobile application and website, you'll be able to fully personalize your profile, get recommendations for products that are unique to your diet and health needs, and more easily connect to our community of health experts for consultations, as well as unique content that they're creating on a weekly basis. The health and wellness industry is growing exponentially at a rate of 11% year over year. The industry and sector for health and wellness in the UAE and Saudi Arabia is $14.5 billion, and Mint Basil Market's total addressable market is $1 billion. Our business model is simple. We have a 25% average margin across all of our products, and we add an additional 5 to 20% in exchange for online marketing and content creation for our suppliers. We're also launching subscription packages at the end of the year. Our brand marketing packages provide our suppliers with data analytics on consumer behavior and health and wellness, as well as digital marketing and content creation. Our competition are mostly bricks and mortar health food stores with an online presence, but Mint Basil Market stands out because of our focus on content creation, health and wellness personalization, as well as our scalability and technology. Our team is deeply passionate about scaling health and wellness and building the health and wellness community across the Middle East. We have expertise in business and partnership development, e-commerce analytics and software engineering, as well as in-house health and wellness experts. We have grown enormously in the last couple of years. We've reached 172K in monthly revenue at a rate of 29% month-over-month growth. We have 2,200 unique monthly users with an acquisition cost of just $2. And we expect to be growing even more in the next couple of years with our expansion into the UAE and eventually Saudi Arabia. We are asking for $400,000 to go towards our initial expansion into the UAE market. Thank you so much, and please join us in bringing health and wellness to the Middle East and North Africa. Thank you.
Yes, Vanessa. Yes, girl. I love that. As a UAE resident, I'm very excited for you to enter this market. And I'm going to jump right into it because the judges at Standard Chartered sent in a very relevant question to that, which is that, I mean, obviously, health and wellness is an industry that's growing aggressively. And you and the Mint Basil Market team have shown that you have progress and resilience through the most testing of times. So as the industry is highly competitive, how are you planning to scale and compete in the UAE against more well-established brands like Kipson's, Ripe Market, and Organic Market?
Yeah, thanks for asking that question, actually. So
As I mentioned in the presentation, the majority of our competitors are are sort of very much focused on the retail aspect. So there may be bricks and mortar health food stores with an online presence and delivery, but where we stand out is the fact that we are deeply dedicated to working with a community of trusted and credible health experts. So everyone from nutritionists, dietitians, health coaches, and fitness experts that you probably already follow on Instagram, on social media, and you're already getting tips and support from them. But here you can actually not only connect directly to our community of health experts, but have them provide personalized recommendations for products that you're looking for. We're also building out our technology, which is really what will help us scale across the region, that further personalizes the experience. So after filling a short survey out, you can actually get fully personalized recommendations based off of your specific diet, your specific health needs, and your specific lifestyle needs. So if you're vegan, we'll be curating all your products so that you can look at all the recommended vegan products that you need, etc. So these are a couple of the ways that we're really looking to stand out and build our value proposition around content and community.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Are you seeing any major differences between the UAE market and the Lebanese market so far?
So I think the Lebanese market was really interesting because actually one of the reasons that we did launch there and validate there was because there were so many products in the market. And a lot of them were local products. And that's something that's a similar trend that we're seeing in the UAE, which really shows demand. The more products that you're sourcing from a specific market, the more demand that there is for those healthy natural products. So that's definitely a trend that we see between Lebanon and the UAE. We also see like sort of a similar educated market, a similar awareness around health and wellness. And one of the reasons why we chose the UAE as our next market is because of that elevated awareness of health and wellness. So we know that across the region and across all emerging markets, we really see Mint Basel Market as a destination for health and wellness across emerging markets. UAE really helps position us to reach other markets more strategically. And so
that's awesome. The last question actually is, you did talk about the importance of the community that you've built and the community of experts and the content, but how important is that part of the business when you look at the overall business? How much of your resources are really allocated towards the community and the content and the experts?
Right. So, I mean, the majority of our market, the reason we've been able to keep our marketing costs down is because of the community that we've built, actually. So, but this is the area that we will start to ramp up. So as we enter into the UAE, we will be building out our community across the region of health experts, building out more sustainable models for creating even more content. At the moment, we create 2 to 3 unique pieces of health expert content per week, and this will be increasing exponentially.
Okay, wow. So it's really a crucial part of your growth and your differentiating like USP.
And really, our health experts are the ones that are our advocates and our ambassadors. They're the ones that are really, we're synergized in the sense that they're providing expertise and content, and we're providing the recommended products and an easier platform for their followers and their clients to actually leverage. So it's a very symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really interesting to see. I'm somebody who's very much part of your target demographic or your target audience. And one thing that Kipson's does not offer, for example, are these personalized recommendations of products that fit my specific healthcare needs. And that personalization is really, really key to Mint Basel Market. When are you launching in the UAE?
Inshallah, March 2021.
Yeah, you're in the UAE now, so inshallah is part of your vocabulary. Very good. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So next up, we're going to be looking at another very exciting boss lady from our cohort, and this time going from Lebanon to Egypt. We have the amazing founder of The Hair Addict, Miss Dua, who will be presenting in a moment. Now, The Hair Addict is a company we're very excited about, and we hope you will be very excited about too, because as much as it might sound like a beauty company. It's actually much more than that. It is a movement, and it is part of the overall evolution and consciousness of our region. The movement to embrace oneself, to embrace their natural self. And the Hair Addict has found a way to create a beautiful business around empowering their consumers directly. And I will allow Dua to now present to you her amazing business with the Hair Addict.
Hello everyone, my name is Dua Gawish. I'm the founder of the Hair Addict. I'm very happy today to give you a glimpse of our startup. Can you imagine that we started with 0 investments, however we managed to make $1.1 million US? And can you imagine that our lifetime value for the customer, if you compare it to the consumer acquisition price, is consistently greater than 3? All of this while managing to achieve very healthy margins, always greater than 75%. And if you're asking yourself how we managed to make that happen, it's very simple actually. Unlike any other hair care company in the Middle East, we started with the consumer, not the product. We created a safe haven, a safe community for all the females in the Middle East to come to ask about anything that is hair related, and actually to get all the answers and to get the love and the support that are needed for her to embark on her natural hair care journey. So what's the outcome? The outcome is a platform with more than 500,000 followers, very engaged, very loving, and very supportive. And actually, according to Facebook, we have one of the highest engagement rates worldwide, with more than 12 million comments, likes, posts per year. Apparently, this community has been one of our greatest unique selling points. People love us, they trust us, and we connect with them on a very deep level. Not only do we guide them through their natural hair care journey, but we provide them with the tips, with the tools, and with the products. Unlike, again, any other hair care company in the Middle East. So actually, our products that we came up with that met the needs of our consumers are very creative, and not only that, they are vegan, and they are soon to be environmentally friendly. We have several hair care categories. Hair growth, we have protection against chlorine, we have wash day, and we actually have the hair tools. Again, very creative and very innovative and very hard to find in the Middle East if you find them at all. Building on our social media platform, the natural progression was to sell through an e-commerce website. And naturally, most of our sales are coming through this e-commerce website, with more than 80% of it. We plan a very aggressive growth of 400% year on year. So by the year 2023, we plan to reach 1.6 million consumers and revenue of about 50 million USD. And in case you're wondering how we are managing or how we are going to manage to do that, our addressable market in Egypt only is about 2.6 million consumers with around 170 million USD. Okay, and actually, if you're wondering how much money we need in order to make that growth, we don't need any money. We actually need strategic collaborations. So actually, there are areas which we are managing at a very good pace, at an excellent pace. However, with the help of other strategic partners, we can make a wow pace in order to help with our growth targets. Those areas are basically consumer marketing experience in Gulf, building or continuing to build the R&D capability locally, Ministry of Health in Egypt, regulations that are taking up to 9 months that we can speed up, and actually an unlimited supply of talents, okay? And actually, if all of our followers in Egypt and outside of Egypt can trust us, and all of the media powerhouses can mention us and actually can write articles about us that are unpaid, BBC, Vogue, Cosmopolitan, all of that, so I believe so can you, okay? We wouldn't have managed to achieve all of that without our team. We have 25 very energetic team members that we are very proud about, and their experience spanning companies like Jumia, like Henkel, like L'Oreal, and P&G. And actually, we look forward to show you the work ahead in a more detailed session. So connect with us after the session if you have any questions, and please stand your natural ground, and remember to follow us on our social media platforms. Thank you.
Amazing.
Hi, Elisa. Hi, everyone.
Hi. I love that your pitch took a turn because you know that the beauty industry might not be the first thing investors look towards, but they should, because when you look at the numbers of your company stands very, very strong.
Thank you for that, Elisa. And women love their hair.
And women do love their hair, and they love it more when it's their natural hair and they can embrace it. I see in the comment section people saying that you've literally changed their lives with your platform, and so many women in the region and in Egypt are now wearing their natural hair with pride, which is something
that's awesome.
My first question to you comes from the STB judges. It reads, a great story and passion behind challenging beauty stereotypes. But we would like to hear a little bit more about your expansion plan into such a high cost and brand savvy market like the UAE. Tell us more about that.
Okay, so after we reached a certain point of growth in Egypt, we realized that now it's time to expand our footprint to other geographies. We realized that the natural expansion would be in Gulf. And that's why actually we established a company in UAE and we started operation in November, shipping bulk orders to Saudi, to UAE wholesalers or to online pages and to Kuwaiti ones. After that, our progression is planned to happen in the US and then Latin America.
Wow, so you have world domination in your sights ahead of you.
And actually, even before we launched in UAE, we had 10% of our orders, of our website orders coming from the Gulf, followed by the US, Latin America, and Europe. And that's actually when we realized that we have to start the global expansion now. And this is because of the media spillover. Back then, we hadn't done any targeted marketing effort in those markets, but now we are starting to do so in Gulf.
And it's such a competitive industry to be in, the beauty industry and the health and the hair care industry. And I wonder, what do you think is the biggest USP that you have to offer for the hair addicts? Why are you so unique and doing so well?
Actually, our biggest USP is our community. We listen to consumers through their comments, through their posts, through everything that they engage on in our community. We have the highest level of engagement and it enables us to listen to everything related to natural hair products, to all hair care problems, to their opinions about our products, about competition, pricing, usage, performance, everything that is related to hair care. So we do not assume anything related to our consumers. We actually engage with them, and it allows us at most times to go with the minimum viable product and to test it in the market, and then we enhance it as we go. And this has contributed a lot to the fact that our consumer acquisition price is very competitive. Our lifetime value for the consumer compared to the acquisition price is a very nice ratio. So on top of having a community in which we get live inputs from consumers every single day, we get to test our products, we get to see whatever is happening in the market.
And so you've already developed so many cool products in response to the demands of your consumers. What kind of new products are you developing now, and what do you see missing in the market?
Okay, so we have very ambitious plan. In addition to footprint expansion, we have very ambitious plans when it comes to our lineup expansion. So we are going to expand in the consumables category. In the wash day category, we're going to launch our leave-in, our gel, our conditioner, and we are going actually to expand into the colorants category, safe colorants. So we have a lot of exciting and ambitious plans, or plan to happen in 2021 with the footprint expansion in Gulf.
Yeah, and I also wanted to note, while I heard that your community is not just women, but also more and more men in the Middle East are embracing their natural hair, if they have held on to any, and letting their curls shine. And that, I want to thank you so much, Dua, and good luck with the prizes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So next up, we have our final startup for this year's cohort. I want to thank you all for making it this far in the presentation and in our demo day. I hope you've enjoyed the pitches so far. To wrap it up, we have a very exciting company hailing from Egypt. And we're going to present to you Dima from Explore Agora, an edtech company looking to completely renew the way that children engage with their education. And those of you that are parents, I know that you have struggled with this very, very much this year more than ever. So you will be grateful to download this app right after the presentation. I'll let Dima take it from here.
Anyone who has children is familiar with this picture. Children sitting for hours on Zoom sessions and online assessments. Now, this did not happen because of the pandemic. The educational tools and methods were already outdated. It's just that the pandemic actually revealed that. Now, in the core of education and learning, it's all about exploration and being curious and being engaged, and that is not happening. And with this changing world, we really don't know for how long children would have to be learning remotely. So what do we need to do? We need to create learning tools that can help children learn anywhere, anytime, without compromising on the quality of the learning process. So what did we decide to do? We decided to actually utilize innovative technology in order to make that happen. So Explore Agora is a mobile application that connects education to the real world through an experience that is interactive, that is gamified, and the way we are doing that is using augmented reality. Now, why use augmented reality? Let me give you 5 main reasons. First, we can help children see beyond what is possible. So for example, a student can see how a volcano erupts or can see dinosaurs. Second, they can play with different chemicals like electrical experiences without any safety hazards. Third, they can manipulate time. And what do I mean by that? For example, kids can have an experience to plant a seed and see how it grows if it was given fresh water versus soda water. And this manipulation of time can help them learn different processes and functions. Fourth is they can jump into things and see how they work. They can see how a stomach works. They can see how a key and lock actually work. And the examples are endless. And then last but not least, children are not on campus every day. So as a teacher, if I want to teach something to my students, I do not have to wait for them to be on campus. I can use AR to show them the solar system, to show them cells, to show them how microscopes actually even work. So this is why we're using AR in education. Now, in order to create such a product, we have a big team. So we have a team of educators that create the content. We have our team of artists that work on the visuals and the 3D models. We have a team of developers creating the app. And then we have our team of business that are actually taking this idea into a great business. In terms of competition, we have 2 local competitors, we have 1 global competitor directly working in augmented reality. What makes us unique is our product is like highly connected to the curriculum. It's curriculum based, it's highly interactive, and parents have this dashboard to sort of monitor what their children are learning, and the way the app and the content are created gives it a potential to actually go global. So how does all of this work? Mainly, our business model has 2 parts. We have the B2C module where we monetize through in-app purchases with an average of $12 US per in-app purchase. And then we have the B2B model, which is around $100 per student subscription based. Now, if we look at the edtech industry, first let's talk about the educational industry. The educational expenditure globally has reached $6 trillion US this year. And because of the pandemic, the edtech industry alone grew by 10 times compared to last year. So let's talk, what does this mean for our addressable market? So in Egypt, we have 17.7 million students, and 7% of them are in private schools. And the reason why I say private schools is because mainly this is the sector that have devices and tablets, and they can use the app. And adding to that some filters of smartphone penetration rate and the percentage of mobiles that can actually support augmented reality, we're talking about around 600,000 students here in Egypt. And going back to our business model with $100 US per student, we are talking about $6 million US in revenues every single year. So ever since we started monetizing, we have made $41,000 US in both B2B and B2C. So this was Egypt. Let me tell you about our expansion plan. By the end of next year, we are expanding to the UAE, and then after that, we are expanding to both the US and the Canadian market. And why do I say the US and the Canadian market? Because last year we had a crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter. We sort of wanted to test our market fit. And to our surprise, the campaign was oversubscribed with over 16 countries. So this is why we are saying the US and the Canadian market. Now, according to our financials, we break even mid-2022. And last but not least, the reason we started this and our commitment is having quality education available to the masses. So aside from our current and future customers, we are currently talking with different NGOs in order to have our mobile application installed on the devices that are currently being distributed to different refugee schools and underprivileged schools, because we do want this to reach every single child and actually create an impact. So please help us in making education impactful again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dima. Hi, and welcome.
Thank you. I speak very quick.
I wish I had this application when I was a kid. And I do see a comment that AR is the future. Even adult me would definitely love to use this app, even without having kids. I agree with that 1000%. So Dima, I would love to know, how are you looking to expand beyond Egypt if the curriculum that you've built is based off of the Egyptian curriculum? How difficult is that to adapt and expand?
Okay, so technically we did not build the curriculum based on the Egyptian curriculum. We actually took the similarities between the American, the British, and the Egyptian national. Up to 75% we have a similarity in all educational concepts. Expanding for us means we already stand solid on the American and the British curriculum. We already have our app ready to be in both English and in Arabic, and we are currently proceeding to talk to different schools and partners in the UAE in order to start integrating with their curriculum system.
Amazing. And what's interesting is you just launched the app a few months ago to users directly, but you've actually been building the back end. You've been building the amount of things that the kids can actually interact with. So how many of those components do you have in place?
So basically we have around 100 currently learning modules. We have been working quite a lot and creating a lot of modules and content in mathematics and science and social studies and history and in geography, all targeting elementary school. And we're actually now working on increasing that even further.
Amazing. And what are the biggest challenges that you foresee for Explore Agora over the next year?
Well, before COVID, I would have told you the adaptability of schools, but post-COVID, it's actually schools that are calling us. It's parents that are calling us to introduce us to the school directors of the schools to tell them, this is what we want our kids to do. So I believe we were lucky that what happened showed such a need, and that actually made our life and our work a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. So how much of your work actually goes into market education, either schools or parents? Because you're telling me that this COVID shift now in understanding remote education has happened. Do you still have to do market education?
Not really. So currently what we do is education on how to use augmented reality. We sort of train teachers on it, tell them how to use it, how to integrate it, but we no longer need to tell them that it exists and it's out there.
Okay. And in terms of your B2C and B2B, how many of your B2C users actually convert to in-app purchases?
So we can, the initial testing before COVID, we had the freemium part only online, but we had around 130 customers who actually paid in advance for the content to be there. So we around have 130, and that was before COVID. And then we are now focusing our shift to the B2B part, actually, because the need in schools is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I remembered last year, we also had an edtech company graduated, and they saw that edtech was growing about 30% year on year. So maybe that took a bit of a spike this year also.
Yes, we have seen a 10-time increase, and like these are the numbers that were published like in July. So we're actually amazed to see what would December tell us in the growth of the edtech industry.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, what can you tell us a little bit more about your team? So it seems like this is a huge undertaking, and you do have a large team. So walk us through a little bit of the backgrounds of the team.
To create a learning module, we need an academic team. So the academic team has to work on creating the content and creating the learning flow and the learning outcomes. And then we have a team of 2D and 3D artists. They create the 3D models, the assets, the icons, the colors, and all of that. And then we have the developers, machine learning, Unity, game developers, back end, front end, that actually code the app. And then eventually we have the business, the marketing, and the sales team. They all work in parallel, like everyone is doing their work at the same time, so that eventually we create content every single week and every single month.
Okay. Wow. That sounds really impressive and very exciting. Are you seeing any pushback from the regulatory standpoint for the work that you're doing?
Can you say that again?
Do you see any pushback from a regulatory standpoint when you're trying to bring your app to official, educational entities?
So if you asked me this last year, I would have cried perhaps on screen, but asking this now is actually completely different. Now it is the other way around. Entities are actually seeking out new solutions, a way to help kids, a way to support in what is happening, because this came suddenly and everyone just don't know what to do. So actually currently it is being very welcomed.
That's a very exciting space to be in. So with that, I know that we've hit the minute mark. So thank you so much, Dima, for answering all those questions and for an amazing pitch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so with that, we've officially ended our pitches. I know you want more. I want more too, but it's okay. That just means that we'll have to wait a little bit longer. Until then, I'd like to present to you the judging panel from Standard Chartered Bank, who are going to now be assessing the startups ahead of them. So first, I wanted to introduce you to Mohammed Abdel Razik, who's the CIO for Africa and the Middle East at Standard Chartered Bank. Ms. Aisha Abbas, who's the Value Center General Manager for Priority and Premium Banking at Standard Chartered. And of course, Ms. Olga Amara Kamani, who's the Regional Head of Corporate Affairs, Brand and Marketing in Africa and the Middle East. Olga also spearheaded the Women in Tech program. And we are so happy to have such amazing judges involved in this year's demo day. They will now take a few moments to define all the criteria that all the presentations have put in front of them. They're going to be judging based on innovation, traction, scalability, and team. And so while they have their deliberation, I hope that you also have your own deliberation, and maybe let us know in the comments who you think should be first, second, and third place winners. And while our amazing panel of judges deliberate, we'll also share with you a quick little video from Womena, which I hope you all enjoy. So please watch this.
What I loved about Womentum was their network and the amazing mentors that they connected us with. Being able to learn so much from every advisor that we were put in touch with has been enormous for my ability to build out our strategy.
The sessions were great. For the first time, I actually sat with someone who did scale up, who knows how to scale up, and he was teaching us about scaling up. And this is something that doesn't happen every day.
I got to be coached in this program on how to use financial modeling in order to assess the health of my business on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis.
What we were really missing as a company in the way we communicated to other people about what we do is like the more human side of it, the more personal side of the story, the bigger picture, the mission underlying it. And I think going through the program with Womentum has helped us to really refine that and be able to communicate it much more effectively.
I used to know how to tell the story of this product, of this vision, but I never quite learned how to, sort of solidify it. They actually taught me how to take a great idea and basically bring a great offering out of it and a great product, and that is something that is currently helping us in the selling process.
From the EQ sessions, I think what stood out to me the most was how some of my anxieties and my fears and my stress points were echoed with other entrepreneurs.
But it was the co-founder dynamic session, which we felt really gave us that structure to be able to communicate around how emotionally we're checking in with each other.
In kind of the hustle and bustle of a startup, you don't get to kind of clearly communicate what it is that's causing you to kind of feel a specific way. And I think what Womentum allowed us to do is kind of really structure our communication in a way that allows us to clearly signal to each other how we're feeling and how we're doing at any given moment.
The thing that I like the most is that our weekly huddle room, the connect that we make with the program director is like a venting session. We all get to vent about what we face on a weekly basis. To all of us, it's very much needed, and sometimes, like as an entrepreneur, it gets very lonely. You don't get to bounce ideas with anyone. So for me, the huddle is quite funny when all people get to vent. and it's actually quite a relief.
I was meant to give the Womena team plus the cohort session on stress relief through yoga, breathing, and meditation. Suddenly, as soon as we start, the electricity went out. Everybody had their mats rolled out and they were already in their comfortable clothing, really ready, really eager. And it was just like, I have no idea what to do, but we have to wait until the electricity comes back.
On the personal level, I remembered how much I need to take care of myself and my health. So I was very lucky that we have two companies this year. One is focused on eating healthy and the other one is focused on mental health and yoga and how we sort of take care of that.
The funniest moment for me was the very first session when there was like 15 women talking about curly hair, and then Majid shows up and is like, hi!
I've never ever been so conscious about how uncurly my hair is. I was like, I'll meet all your friends.
Sorry, I'm live. Okay. Thanks, Elisa. And look, guys, it's what an incredible event and absolutely inspiring with your energy and the amount of work that's gone into this event over the last few months. It's really an honor to be associated with Womena and this cohort. 5 incredible pitches, I must say. I lost a lot of sleep with my colleagues. I'm sure they had the same, because how can you choose a star or 3 stars amongst 5? It's always everybody is a star in this event, but we do have to deliberate and we do have to choose 3 of the 5. Just a phrase on each one of you guys before I hand over to my colleagues for the announcements of that deliberation. So first, Shadan, I am taking a breath and I am slouched at my desk for the past probably 12 hours. I do need a yoga session. Absolutely inspiring what you're doing in terms of the adversity and your spirit and your passion, and more of your purpose as well in how all of this started. And I really wish you the best in what's to come. Dima, Agora, well, I was mentoring you over the past couple of weeks and a month and a half or so. I must say you've come a very long way, and I might be biased, but you guys are ready, and you will take tech ed to the next level. It is an absolute necessity to take that tech ed with COVID. It's the next generation of technology and education through technology. Finial Media, very diverse. It's amazing to see the 3 of you working together in such a way, and the passion you bring Arabize podcast to the world. Definitely a niche that needs to be exploited, and you're in the right place there. Hair Addict, Dua, I think I'm gone and I cannot be helped any further. Even if we do see your product in Dubai, I might try it, but we'll see if you can help me in that domain. Amazing from Egypt to the world, and I wish to see you as a FMCG conglomerate of the future, digitally enabled and reaching the world. It's amazing to see the product. Vanessa, through the adversity of everything that's happened in Lebanon, to prevail out here in the UAE, pushing for wellness and health. Also looking forward to seeing you here in the UAE and your expansion as well. So fantastic, phenomenal effort, extremely inspiring. And now we'll go into the announcements of the winner. So with that, I'll hand over to Aisha to announce the 3rd prize winner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mo, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here. And this is one of the toughest things for us to do, as Mo rightly highlighted, that you're all winners. You're all winners in our eyes. The fact that you've worked incredibly hard and put so much effort in putting together your pitch, and not just this, but for doing everything that you have been doing. And I can see all of you here. Everybody is sitting there with poise. But I'm sure there's butterflies in the stomach as well. And I would just second everything that Mo had just mentioned. Whether it's to do with beauty for women, and hair is everything for women. And by the way, I myself wear hair extensions, and I can completely relate to what it is that you do. And it's an incredible amount of work that you're doing on this, and especially the fact that you really reach out to people from the heart and you connect with them emotionally. With Mint Basil, health and well-being, and especially with the right product for keeping well at all times, especially during these times. I think that's phenomenal that you're doing, and it doesn't just stop at diet, but it goes beyond that. So it's incredible indeed. Layla and team in Finial, you guys, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to mentor you as well. Considering that you're bringing culture and language back, I think that's incredible. And I wish you every success. And the trio, you guys just make a wonderful group. And I wish I could work with you personally sometime in future as well. Dima, with your initiative, I mean, it's just brilliant, bringing augmented reality to make it attractive for the most difficult audience, which is children. You've got to have the patience of a saint to make this work. So that's incredible. And Shadan, you've been mentored by none other than Mo, and the stuff that you're doing in a place that you're doing it is also incredible. So for us judges, we've been scrambling, we've been WhatsApping, and we've been talking to each other, and we're making calls on the side, and so it's been incredibly hard for us to make this decision. But I am privileged to announce the third place winner. Not stealing the thunder away, but the third place winner, ta-da, is going to be Shadana. Congratulations. And I am now going to pass on to my colleague Olga, who is going to announce the second place winner. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful. Great.
All right, over to you, Olga. As Olga joins us, how does it feel, Shadan?
Great. It's really wonderful. It's one of those moments when you're waiting and you're like, is it happening? Is it not? Is it us? Is it not? So it's really great. Thank you very much.
I could tell you were practicing your yoga. I could tell, like, you're sitting with poise, just trying to keep moving, just to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, always. Actually, it's one of the things that generally when I'm sitting, I generally have a straight back, and many people say it's very annoying because then they feel like they need to straighten up again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I hope it just acts as a reminder. But surely I can relax a bit more now.
All right. Okay. So we're just going to wait for Olga. Otherwise, if we don't see her, then I'm going to have the pleasure of either announcing the second place winner myself, or passing it on to Rola, who can present the second award. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Rola has very kindly said to me that she's happy for me to announce the second place winner as well. And once we've announced the second place winner, I'm then going to pass off to Rola Boumane, our Chief Executive Officer at Standard Chartered Bank, for her to announce the winner. And without further ado, And to stop all the butterflies, I am super delighted to announce the second place winner, which is Layla and her team from Finial. Yay!
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. That's
Really
amazing.
appreciate it.
Congratulations, you guys. An absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's brilliant. Okay, we're gonna obviously have conversations later on to find out what exactly it is that you'll be doing with these winnings. And without further ado, I am absolutely thrilled to request Rula to come on stage and announce the supreme winner. Rula, over to you.
Thank you, Aisha. I hope everybody can hear me clearly. The first prize winner goes to Explore Agora, who gets $15,000. So well done, Dima and your team. Greatly well done. Excellent.
Thank you so
and
much.
I must say
Thank
it
you.
was very, very close. So really, thank you very much for such brilliant startup shows, solid business plans, lovely pitches, and very good questions. So congratulations to all the winners and to the whole cohort. While the startup show now is over, and I'm quite confident you'll be hearing from the potential investors very soon. I want you to reiterate that Standard Chartered is here to help you grow and prosper beyond this program. So please do stay in touch and continue innovating, inspiring, and remain passionate, and always keep your sense of purpose at the center of what you do. Thank you all very much and well done. Over to you, Alisa. I think Alisa is not, I can't see her.
I'm here. Surprise, everybody. I'm so proud of our amazing startups. I'm so proud of you, Dima. I'm so proud of you, Layla. I'm so proud of you, Shadan and Vanessa and Dua. You have made it to the end of this program and also to the end of 2020. An incredible year, an incredible program, a very, very challenging and trying time for all of us. I want to just take another minute to thank Standard Chartered for the incredible equity-free prize money and donation that they've wonderfully and graciously, generously given to all of our startups, to our startups, and the support that they've given Womentum over this time. I want to thank all of our partners for making this program possible in one of the most difficult years ever. So thank you again to Standard Chartered and the Women in Tech program. Thank you again to Google for Startups, to Latham & Watkins, and to Boston Consulting Group for their continued belief and support in Womena and the Womentum startups every year. But more importantly, I want to take a minute to thank the startups who have been with us and have stuck with us through everything. Our startups have been so committed to this program and have been showing up for themselves and for us in every session. And that amount of impact and effort should not go unrecognized, because the progress that they achieved in this time, becoming investment ready and scaling and launching in new markets and moving to new markets, can be incredibly challenging and trying, especially in the middle of such a demanding program like Womentum. I also want to take a minute to thank the Womena team and the Womentum team that has been able to make this program possible. It's not a small feat, and our program director had to redesign this program at least 3 times this year just in response to the craziness that was around. And we did it, guys. We did it. We made it. We're here. We're at the end of our beautiful demo day. And you can now pat yourselves on the back for an amazing job done. Thank you to our media team for creating the beautiful stories that you've all seen on our social media channels over the last few months, for writing and building and storytelling around the Womentum program, but also the Womentum series, which will be out next year with a new season. But it should be said that the Womena team is really unmatched. I am so proud of all of you, and I want to thank all of you for working so hard and getting us here. And lastly, I want to thank the audience. I want to thank you, all of you at home, for the amazing support you've given us, for showing up, for supporting our startups, for supporting Womena, and for making it to this demo day and showing us that the women in the region really are a force to be reckoned with. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, if you are interested in getting in touch with any of the startups or being a part of Womentum next year or the year after, please feel free to send us an email and get in touch with us. Again, I'd like to remind everybody that all of the companies you saw today have their product on the market and live right now. So go give them a download, go give their pages a little like, a subscribe, a double tap. And if while you're at it, if you happen to see Womena pages on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, feel free to give those a like and a follow as well. So last but not least, thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for your belief, and thank you for showing us that the mission that we're on is really a much larger movement than ourselves. Your continued support is really what has gotten us here today, and what will get the next generation much further than we ever would have dreamed of. So thank you again from Womena and the entire Womentum and SCB Women in Tech space. Thank you all. Namaste. Ma salama. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening and a wonderful holiday season ahead of you.